So if we take this alphabet chart, now many of us will see an alphabet chart like this in our rooms. We'll either see them single, hanging up, or whatever. Now, if I'm going to tell you that the letter A makes the sound at like in apple, that's great because A can make at in apple. But if I read the very next word on that chart, that word becomes bow. So straight away, that process has failed me as a child. I go, why is it a bow and not a ball? Because I've never heard the word bow, but it looks like a ball that I've got on here. And straight away, that process has failed me. I can't do the word goat. I can't do the word nail. I can't do the word pear, road, snail, umbrella, vase, watch, zebra. So the very reason that you're teaching me the letter A makes the sound at is the very reason it's going to actually cause me to have difficulties as if I start to look at it in other words where it doesn't make the sound at. If I go to do the word book, I can't do the word book on this chart because it would have to be a b-o-ok. I can't do the word watch because it'd have to be a w-a-t-k-h. Toy would have to be a t-o-yo. And shark would have to be a I can't even do that very well actually here, but a s-h-a-r-a-k. And so therefore, if I go as a s-h-a-r-a-k, I'm never ever going to get that word shark. So the whole reason that we're teaching this at apple, football, cat, dog is actually the reason why many children start to fail in literacy. So if we're now working on our THRAS chart, we can, the beauty and the thing that I love about the THRAS chart is, first of all, I'm able to teach any word to any child at any time. And secondly, if I'm remediating children, and that's where I started, that's how I actually started writing THRAS, as the children that I was remediating, is I'm able to use this as a remediation tool exactly the same way that I can use it as a teaching tool. So the whole process behind THRAS is that you have a teacher's teaching tool that you can use to be able to explain A, the spelling of a word, but be able to help a child and show them where they've gone wrong. And the thing I love about using my THRAS chart is that I know that when I'm using this chart is the child is never going to be fully wrong. They're almost there. And you can start to rebuild, and this is what happens to us when we're working with these learners who struggle. They give up by the time they're halfway through year one. I'm done, I can't do this, it's too hard, it's too hard. And when we're remediating these children, we're giving them these crosses. We don't give them credit for what they know and for what they understand. So if I had a child that I was working with and I'm going to do the word was with them, I can say, first of all, if I was going to teach them the word was, I can say, let's do the word was. When we do the word was, we've got three sounds. We can hear w like in water, ot like in swan, and z like in laser. Let's do it again. We've got w like in water, ot like in swan, and z like in laser. So I'm able to give that child an auditory, a visual, and a tactile understanding of how that word is going to be spelled. I can say, let's have a look now when you wrote was. You've written it as W-O-Z, but you're in the right boxes, you can hear the right sounds. In the work box, not only can you hear the right sound, you've also got the right spelling choice. When we do the sound ot, let's go down to our ot box, and it's like the ot like in swan. You've chosen the ot like in frog, but we need to use the ot like in swan. Good work. You're hearing the right sound. You've written a very good spelling choice. That shows me that you've got good, what we call orthography. And then let's go to the sound zzz. You're in the right box again. You've made a very good choice for the zzz sound because that's the most common choice. But do you know in English there are loads and loads of words where the letter S can make the sound zzz. So I'm able to help that child know, A, first of all, they're doing a good work. They're doing a good job. They're halfway there. They're understanding the sounds in that word. They've already picked up the spelling choices. But what I need to do, I need to add on to their learning. If they're going to do the word come, a child who writes come, C-U-M, has done a fantastic job because that's exactly what we hear. K, So they've got this right. We've got our k, like in cat, right sound, right spelling choice. Let's come down here now to our up box. And down here, we only ever teach children that the letter U makes up. But in English, there is as many words in English where the letter O makes the sound up. So if today is Monday and we do words like month and mother and money and love and come and some and other, there are hundreds of words in English where the letter O actually makes the sound up. And up here, let's go to our box. And yes, we can hear the sound You've chosen the like in mouse, but this is why we have the little stars here. And if you work on some of the other charts with Thras, like if any of you've got your iThras up, if you click the little star, you'll see that the other spelling choices for will come up and ME will be in that box. So not only am I able to show that child how to write that word, but then I can remediate them, but I can also give them confidence that they're actually there, they're halfway there. So they're not all wrong. I'm not in this and I don't understand what's going on. When I do the word my, I can hear two sounds in my. I can hear like in mouse and I like in fly. Now, if we only ever teach children that the letter Y makes y, like in yachts and yawn and yo-yo, it's going to be very, very difficult for a child to understand about the letter Y making the sound I. Now, we get lots of children then who write my, lowercase m, capital I. Now, I'm sure that many of you working with your remedial children will find that many of them put capital letters throughout words. Now, this is one of the things that really struck me when I was working with my remedial children. I look at these capital letters and I go, why are they putting capital letters in words? They don't see it in everyday print. They don't see it in their reading books. But why is this a consistent misspelling, or why is this a consistent pattern with these children? Now, this comes back again to that very early teaching of, when I'm teaching you that A is a, I only teach the lowercase letter as being the sound. But when I talk about the capital letter, I'll call that by its name. So the lowercase letter is a, but the capital letter is A. So many children actually believe that in English we have two sets of sounds. We have at, b, k, d, and A, B, C, D. So when they go to write the word my, they go, I know I've got the sound with the letter M making but the next sound I can hear is I, so I'm going to go up here and the lowercase is it, the capital letter is I, so I'm going to write my, M-I. They'll write a word like we, W, capital E, or they write a word like baby, lowercase b, capital A, lowercase b, capital E. Now, that child is actually doing a really good job at being able to try and read and write given what they have been given. And this is why Thras brings that whole systematic phonics together, so that we're able to show them how this fits, how this whole process fits together. First of all, we've got our 44 phonemes that we need for phonemic awareness. We've got one box for each phoneme in English. Our consonant phonemes are at the top, our vowel phonemes are at the bottom. These are the letters of our alphabet, and we have 26 letters of the alphabet, lowercase and capital, and they have exactly the same equivalent in words. And I love it when I'm working with little ones because I go, see these letters? They don't make a sound when they're in the alphabet. They've just got a name, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When they make a sound is when they jump out of the alphabet and into a word. So if the letter Y jumps out of the alphabet and into yawn, it's making the sound Y. If the letter Y jumps out of the alphabet and into fly, it's making the sound I. If the letter Y jumps out of the alphabet and into pony, it can make the sound E. So the whole system that we need to work with is on this chart. We can see what our graphs, one letter spelling choice, our digraphs. So I can say to Chloe, if she's in my classroom, I can say, Chloe, you've got two letters that make your K sound. They are C and H. But Charlie, we can hear ch at the beginning of your name and CH makes ch in your name. But if I've got little Charlotte in my room, I've also got to be able to explain that to her. And I can say, Charlotte, you've got the sound shh, that's what we can hear, and you've got the 2 letters CH. So CH can make sh like in chef, ch like in Cher and Charlie's name, or k like in Chloe and school. If I've got little Phoebe in my classroom, she doesn't want to think that she's got a letter F making her f sound. She has to know that she has PH that makes the f sound in her name. So just to sort of summarize as we're going through here, the most important points that we have, first of all, letters do not have a sound. And teaching children that each letter of the alphabet has a sound is wrong. They don't. They have a name. When we use letter names, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it allows us then to explain the spelling of any word at any time to any child.